Do you have questions about the Indigo Paints IPO? What is the company? What are its strengths? What are its weaknesses? Well, you've come to the right place. Today we're going to be looking at a detailed view about the Indigo Paints company. Hello guys, welcome to Money Magic, and today we're going to be looking at Indigo IPO. Let's start with the company itself. Indigo Paints was established in the year 2000. It is one of the fastest growing paint companies in India in terms of revenue. It is the fifth largest company in decorative paint industry. The company is engaged in manufacturing different types of decorative paints like animals, emulsions, wood coatings, etc. Indigo Paints has a strong market network with dealers in Tier 1, Tier 2 and metros as well. It has 3 manufacturing facilities in Rajasthan, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. The facility in Tamil Nadu is relatively new, and much of the proceedings from the IPO will be utilized in the expansion of this facility. Now let's look at its customers. So Indigo Paints follows a B2C or a business to customer model. The company has an extensive network of distributors and dealers stretching across the country. It has a greater presence across Tier 3 and Tier 4 cities along with the rural areas of India. As of 2010, Indigo Paints distribution network comprised of 11,000 active dealers. Now let's take a look at some of the products and services offered by Indigo company. So the product offered by Indigo Paints can be subdivided into 4 subcategories: cement paints and putty, emulsions, enamels and wood coatings, primers, distempers and others. The graph here shows the revenue split up among the different product subcategories, and here we can see the maximum part is shared by emulsions. Now let's look at the financials of Indigo Paints Limited. Here's a quick look at the financial of past 4 years. A quick glance at the financial performance of Indigo over the last years highlights significant growth. During this period, the total income of the company showed a growth of CAGR of 21.20%. In 2017, the company did not fare well and reported a loss of 17.58 crore. Now let's take a look at the industrial analysis of Indigo Paints. The market for paints and coatings has been growing steadily over the years between 2014 and 2019. The industry recorded a CAGR of about 11%. The India paint industry is valued at approximately 54,500 crores and is expected to grow to an amount of 97,100 crores by 2024. Indigo Paints primarily operates in the subcategory of decorative paints. Currently, this segment makes up about 74% of total paint sales. The decorative paint market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 13%, while the industrial paint market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 9.9% by 2024. India's per capita paint consumption is increased by a CAGR of 6.8% in the last 7 years, from 2.6 kg in fiscal 2012 to 4.1 kg in fiscal 2019. The graph here shows the increase in per capita consumption of paint in India over the years. Although at a domestic level, the per capita consumption of the paint is increased in India, as compared to the rest of the world, it is still very low, and this gives a significant opportunity for market penetration in India. Unlike major entities, Indigo Paints entered the market of small cities, towns and rural areas and effectively established itself as a market leader in selected categories within a short period of time, and now is venturing into 137 metros in Tier 1 cities. There is a significant untapped opportunity in metros and larger cities that can be capitalized by Indigo Paints by expanding its distribution network. The Indian decorative paint industry has been dominated by 4 major entities with an aggregate market share of 65% in 2019. The graph here shows the market share of top companies in this segment. Asian Paints is a market leader in the Indian decorative paints category with a market share of 42%. The Indigo Paints is 5th largest with 2% market share. The market structure is such that most of the competition faced is from established market leaders. The possibility of smaller firms entering is really low. The industry is characterized by significant barriers to entry. This is primarily due to the nature of manufacturing and distribution process. Now, let's take a look at some peer comparison. So, as you can see that Indigo Paints has surpassed its peer in revenue growth. However, most large companies suffered revenue losses last year due to the pandemic and associated lockdowns. Also, Indigo being a smaller company, its growth rate would be higher than large corporations. In all other aspects, Indigo Paints is all par with its peers. For now, let's take a look at some of the strengths and weaknesses of Indigo Paints. Indigo Paints Limited boasts of a track record of consistent growth in a highly competitive decorative paints industry with significant barriers to entry. Being the first company to offer differentiated products, Indigo Paints has managed to establish greater brand recognition and has expanded into a complete range of decorative products. The company has managed to leverage its brand equity to install tinting machines across its distribution network. Its manufacturing facilities are strategically located with proximity to raw materials. The management team consists of senior professionals from the paint industry with considerable experience. Now, for some weaknesses. Although there are fewer competitors, the competition is very stiff since the competing companies are bigger and have larger operational budgets. Hence, a small error can be exploited by its peers. Indigo Paints spends a large portion of its revenue on marketing. In 2020, the company spent around 12.7% of its revenue on marketing alone. This can put a strain on its finances in the long run. Now let's take a look at the stock valuation of the company. Here are some of the valuation factors of Indigo Paints in 2020 with comparison to its peers. If you look at only the decorative paint section of the business, then the average PE ratio is around 94.10. If you look at the price brand of Indigo Paints IPO and calculate the PE ratio, we get a value of 140.43, which is way higher than the industry average. Let's take a look at the intrinsic value of Indigo Paints. Intrinsic value is equal to current paints into 8.5 plus 2 times the expected annual growth rate. In financial year 2020, Indigo Paints booked profits of 47.82 crores. Also, the estimated annual growth is 8%. Therefore, by calculating, we have the intrinsic value of the company as 1171.34 crores. After deducting the margin of safety, the intrinsic value of Indigo Paints is 1054.43 crores. As per the IPO structure, the company has a market cap of 1168.16 crores. Thus, we see even on the basis of the intelligent investor formula, the IPO is overvalued. Some of the risk factors for the company. If Indigo Paints fail to protect, strengthen and enhance its existing brand, then it can face adverse effects on its business prospects and financial performance. The company may not be able to identify or effectively respond to evolving preferences, expectations or trends in a timely manner, and a failure to derive the desired benefits from its product development efforts may impact its competitiveness and profitability. Those are a few of the risk factors, but for a detailed list of all of the risk factors, please refer to the doc present in the description below. Now let's see the promoters of the company. So the major promoters include Hemant Jalan, Anita Jalan, Prag Jalan, Kamla Pasand Jalan, Tara Devi Jalan and Halogen Chemicals Private Limited. Finally, let's look at the details of the IPO. So the IPO will be issued from January 20, 2021 to January 22. The issue type would be book built issue IPO. The issue size will be around 1176 crore, out of which the fresh issue would be around 300 crores. We have a face value of Rs 10 per equity share. The IPO would be priced anywhere between 1480 to 1500 per equity share. Market lot and the minimum order quantity has not yet been declared, and it will be listed on both BSE and NSE's site. Now let's go to the most important point for listing game, that is GMP. The current grey market price as of today, 18 January, is around 850 to 860. Thank you for watching this video. Let us know if you found anything useful in this, and also tell us if you will or if you won't invest in this IPO. We make a lot of videos just like this about stock markets, about IPOs, so consider subscribing and liking the video. Again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you the next time.